Well, hello. Welcome to the last section of Chapter 1, Section 1.7, Finding Perimeter, Circumference, and Area. We got 4 things to discuss here today, and so we're going to start with the first one. That's going to be a square. Hopefully you're aware what a square resembles. It's a quadrilateral. Has 4 sides of equal length. So we'll see those congruence marks to illustrate that we have 4 sides of equal length, and it has 4 right angles. So the thing about a square is each side is of equal length. We call them each S, and the area of a square is found by taking one side and squaring it. This is how we came up with something to the second power, referring to squaring. Alright, because it's the area of a square. Perimeter of a square would be 4 times S. 4 times S. Well, let's take a look at an example. We'll just pop one right down here. Got ourselves a square. I'm not going to draw all the doohickeys on there. Oh, what the heck. Doesn't take long. There we go. And we're going to say that this side over here is 7. And we have to find the area and the perimeter of this. So the area would be 7 squared. And the perimeter would be 4 times 7, 49 square units, because I did not declare units in this problem, and then this would be 28 units. Because when we're talking area, we're talking the number of squares that would cover the surface of the shape, so 49 square units. And then perimeter is distance around. Next up, and we'll see some more examples as I go, next up will be let's go with a rectangle next. Oops, let's change colors. Let's do a rectangle next. So a rectangle is much like a square. Alright, much like a square, it's got a base. Whoopsies, it does not have a base. It has a length and a width. Now keep in mind, a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. Here's a case where we use a second tick mark, second congruence mark, to show the second set of sides congruent. Okay, rectangle. Perimeter of a rectangle. You can see we have 2 lengths. Perimeter is just simply the sum of all the side lengths. We'll have 2 lengths and 2 widths, making up a rectangle, and then our area is length times width. So for example, if I don't draw a picture, I just say, hey, the length is 8 centimeters, and our width is, let's say, 5 centimeters, and we want the perimeter. It would be 2 times 8 plus 2 times 5, which will be 16 plus 10, 26 centimeters. And then our area is length times width, for a grand total of 40 square centimeters. Alright, so that's rectangles in a nutshell. Let's move on to triangles. Triangle. It's got 3 sides. A, B, and a C. B stands for the base. And then we have the height. Height is always measured perpendicular to the base. So area of a triangle, oops, we'll go perimeter first, sorry. Perimeter is simply the sum of each side, A plus B plus C, and then area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. 1/2 base times height. Alright, Because a triangle is really like half of a rectangle. That's why it's a similar equation, base times height, or length times width. But half of it. Alright, let's do one of these. Let's say we got a rectangle, looks something like this. And, you know, we might have something like this, where it says this is, let's see here, I think how I want to do this. I don't know, these won't be terribly awesome numbers as far as accuracy, but if we say this is, I don't know, 6 and 8. It's impossible for 5, 6, and 8 to produce that right triangle, but it's okay. For what we're doing here, this is fine. Perimeter. Sum of all the sides. 8 plus 13 plus 18. Grand total. Let's see what that gives us. 39. Alright, and this would be units. I did not declare units again. And then area, 1/2 base times height. And so that's 1/2 times our base, 18 times our height, 5, for a grand total of 45 square units. Alright, so that's the basics of squares, rectangles, and triangles. We are going to clear this screen, and we'll do this again. Here, we'll talk about what's left. Circumference is this other word that we have on here, and then we got a couple other examples. But hopefully you remember circumference deals with circles. So circumference pertains to a circle. And basically we have one dimension on a circle, and it's the radius. You can also have a diameter, which is half the radius. Or the radius is half the diameter, my fault. Okay, and so circumference of a circle, that's the distance around a circle, it's the perimeter of a circle. We can do that two ways, 2 pi times r, or pi times diameter. And then area of a circle, pi times the radius squared. So imagine we have a circle. And I'll tell you that the radius is 4 inches. Okay, so circumference is 2 times pi times 4, which would be 8 pi inches. And then the area is pi times r squared, pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi, and this would be square inches. And we don't mind the answers in terms of pi. Moving forward, 8 pi is a super awesome exact answer. We haven't had to round that. The second we take 8 times pi and get 25.12, we are approximating that result. Okay, the same thing happens for 16 pi. So always attempt to leave your answers exact. Otherwise, you can figure out the decimals too. If directions say round to a certain decimal point, at which time you would do that. Okay. Lastly, we're going to get some problems like this where we let's go with this. Might be given a rectangle, and I'll tell you that the width is unknown. We'll say that the length was 9, and we'll say that the area was 36. We're going to say this is feet, and this is square feet. And we have to figure out the missing dimension. So when we go look and say, hey, this is a rectangle. Rectangles have an area of length times width. Fill in the blanks. 36 equals length 9 times width, w. And we would solve for w and get 4. Make sure we label this feet. And we'll do one more of these. Let's say we have a rectangle who's got a height of, let's say our height is 8 centimeters. We do not know the base, but our area is, let's say the area of this one is 40 square centimeters. Find the length of the base. So again, we'd fill in the blanks. Area equals 1/2 base times height. 40 equals 1/2 base times height. And so 40 equals 4b. B would have to equal 10. Again, make sure we label it centimeters. Well, that's what I have for section 7. You'll find a couple more questions near the end of your assignment, which are more application ones where you have to figure out like the area of something, and it says you're spreading grass seed in your yard, and a bag covers 100 square feet. How many bags would you need? That type of thing. So you have to do some division by 100 to figure out your bags. Keep in mind you can't have partial bags of things, and so you would round up to the nearest whole bag, etc. All right, let me know if you have any questions. This is all I got for you.